Hey everybody, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. Yeah, welcome back myself to the channel. I know it's been a while. I've been absent for about three months now. The last video I made was installing the Mudforce tires and the Tusk wheels that I had on here. You might want to go back and see that just to know what I'm talking about. And then testing them at one time at Chappie Shasta. Actually not a hell of a lot's been going on. I just been kind of doing other things, kind of got out of riding a little bit, took a break from everything, work and just personal stuff, and just those life unexpected stuff. Can't even talk right. So I did actually go riding for a little bit a while back, off camera though, and I've been noticing for a while that tapping, knocking noise coming in within the engine on Ruby, a sign that the valves need to be adjusted. So which I did. A lot of that, I did the valve adjustment, and I did the oil change. I changed her oil filter, air filter, and installed a Honda recoil starter, backup pull starter on her. For a while, I've been toting around portable battery jumper from Battery Tender. I wanted to go ahead and put a recoil starter on there, just kind of ease of mind, because with the battery charger you have to keep, every once in a while if you don't use it, you got to keep it charged up for it to work, and a lot of times I was worried about it just not working. So I figured with the recoil starter that I'll have ease of mind of having backup in case dead battery because I get a dead battery or the starter goes out or whatever, I won't be left stranded. I did order it directly from Honda off their site, and the part number for it is right here, if you can see that right there. This was a little spendy. It was about $110 or something like that, shipped to me, and so yeah, that's what I've been doing. That's what I did. And anyway, the purpose of this video, making a video just to have something on the channel, since it's been 3 months, and I'll just kind of go over, show you out what I did to her. Okay, I'll just show you what I did to her. Now, I didn't do this all in one night or day or anything. It took me a couple days to do this all, because the valve adjustment and the installing of the recoil starter and the oil change and all that stuff, I did it off camera, except an exception with the oil change. It's the first time I've ever actually done a valve adjustment on it and doing the recoil starter. I just kind of took my time. I just didn't feel comfortable with the camera rolling and everything, being my first time with all screw up and stuff. So I'll just point out to what I did. Obviously, you have to pull off the panel here and the seat, obviously. To get these off, there's 4 grommets, or actually there's 6 grommets. There's 2 right here on this side. There's 2 down here on that side. There's 2 right here, over there, and up there, and then 2 small ones right here that hold it on completely. Then you got to take these pins out, these push pins here. That one, there's one here, and one on the other side right there by the auxiliary port. That way this can come up like that. Now, some people have said you need to take the rack off and the fenders off, but I didn't do that because you can do it without really doing that. And I found the easiest way to take the gas tank off, because really the only really pain in the ass thing to take off of this, to get to the valves, was removing the gas tank. And preferably you want to do it with empty tank, which I didn't have an empty tank. My tank was pretty full, so it was kind of heavy. It was kind of a bitch getting it out of there and stuff. But and then it was easy for her to take this guard off for the high-low lever. Take this thing out. That way the tank can just go right in there like that without having to fight all this. And I was so worried about breaking something and everything. So, and then under here, there's a bolt. I'm not sure if you can see that with the camera or not. I'm holding the GoPro here. There's the bolt here. That's a star point. It's a T30. One here and one on that side too. You get in there and take those out. Being careful not to impact any of this stuff. You don't really want to use any impact wrenches on this because you just don't want to break something, strip it out and everything, because then you'll be screwed. Then you got to take out your lines. This is your breather hose here. You just push or squeeze this clamp, pull it out, and being very careful to remove it from this nipple here, because this is plastic. You can actually break that. If you break this, then you'd have to replace your whole fuel pump. This is the fuel pump right here. You remove this plug here. I think that's the power for the fuel pump. Here's your fuel line. You just pull this grommet back right here on this top part. You just pull it back. There's two little latches here. You squeeze those really tight and you just pull and it comes off. Some gas will come out of it a little bit, but just get a rag and wipe it up, and that's all you do. You just take out, you just remove the lines from these little holders here. Oh yeah, first thing you got to do is remove the computer. This is your main ECU right here, or ECM I think, but this is the main computer part over here. You just these little tabs here, you just push these back and it slides right out. There's a 10mm bolt. You got to pull that out. Then after all your, before I get too ahead of myself, you come over here on this side. You got to remove your spark plug, the plug part of it. You got to remove this plug right here. I think that's the temperature sensor for if you're underwater or something. That's your shut off, where it'll shut off and stuff. You got to pull that out, pull it through this plate here. All this stuff comes off. There's grommets that are right there and right there. And you just pull this up, and then you. Oh yeah, remove the factory snorkel. This is a snorkel that goes down in the air box. Now I was a dumbass and didn't realize that there's a clamp right down in there. I didn't realize it. I was wrestling it out to get it out, and I actually broke the boot where it slides into on the bottom of the air box. Their air box is fine. The boot, I broke the factory sealant that's on there. It just pulled the whole thing out of there, so I had to clean it up, reseal it with some of that red high temperature sealant. Got it in there, let it dry, it was fine. And you got to pull this snorkel out. You just twist it out and it comes out. Lift this thing up off of the gas tank and all these grommets. You just kind of lay it over like that because it's on these wires here, which is fine. It won't hurt it. You just kind of easily lay it over there. Take the gas tank out, and you have this heat shield here, the gas tank heat shield. It's just mounted on the frame. It's clipped to the frame. Actually, you just pull them out. There's two push pins underneath that. You pull those out, pull it up, and then it gives you access to your top end where your valves covers, where your two valve caps are. You unscrew that one, unscrew the other one, intake and the exhaust one. And then after that, you remove your spark plug, which is right down in here. You take the spark plug out. Dang, dog next door is barking. I'm trying to make a video here. Oh yeah, to remove the gas tank too, there's two bolts here, there and there. You just pull these wires out, unscrew it. That's how you get it off. After you get the spark plug removed, you come down here. There's this little plug here that you got to unscrew. That it takes a 6mm Allen. This is a port that looks inside the crankcase to where you can get the valves and the piston on top dead center. Now this is the recoil starter that I installed on here. I will explain that later after this, explaining all the valve stuff. Behind that is a little plate that looks like this. On the back of it, it comes with 3 10mm bolts. You unscrew those, take this out, and in the center there's a bolt. My garage here is a complete freaking mess. I got to get this organized again, so pardon me for that. This is the bolt that goes in the crank, and it's a 17mm. You take a socket and you turn it clockwise. I'll explain why this has been taken out in a minute. You got to turn your crank slowly with the socket wrench, 17mm, until you see there's a bunch of symbols and numbers in there. You keep doing it until you get to a T. There'll be a little T with a line underneath of it. And there's a notch right on the side of the hole there. You got to line that line up with that notch, making sure that you're with the T's right there, or with that line on the notch. That puts it in top dead center, where the piston's all the way up to the top and the valves are closed. Then you can do your adjustments. The first time I did this, I didn't have that line lined up. I didn't know about that. I thought the T just had to be in the hole where you can see it. It didn't work. It still had that knocking problem. It was actually, it made it worse. So after knowing that notch had been there, I had to go back and do it again until that little line lined up with the notch. Then it worked. Then you can do your adjustments, which you'll take. Then you take your fuel gauge like this. Pointer out right here. The intake valve is 0.006 and the exhaust is 0.009. There will be two nuts on top of the one on this valve, one on the exhaust valve. 10 millimeter, you can screw those, and there's on the top there's a slotted screwdriver on top of the valve where you put your screwdriver in there and you adjust it. You take that feeler gauge and slip it underneath the rocker arm and the spring, I believe, and there should be some resistance to it. If you stick it in there and just kind of slide it back and forth, feeling a little resistance, it'll kind of scrape a little bit. That's when you know that you're in the exact setting for measurement for both of them. 0.006 exhaust, 0.009 for the intake. Do the same thing for that. Take the screwdriver, hold it in place, make sure it doesn't move, that little adjuster screw, and tighten that nut back up. And then do the same thing over here. It's really hard to keep that thing straight and keep it steady and secure, because if you tighten the nut up, you don't want to move that adjuster screw because it'll mess up your measurement. You got to do it again. It took me like 5 or 6 times on each one to finally get it to where it won't move and finally got it adjusted right. Tighten it down really tight as you can. Put the valve caps back on. They're made out of aluminum. You do not want to over torque those or over tighten them because they could crack and strip and everything. Then after that, you get that, it's just a matter of just putting everything back in reverse of what you took off. All your lines go back. The spark plug looked nice. You put that in. You put all this back in, that back on, and then put the factory breather snorkel back in and everything. Test fire it, and if it fires up, turns over, and it starts right up and doesn't make any of that noise, then that means you got it. So, which is exactly what happened with Ruby here. So I don't hear that noise hardly anymore. So that's a good sign. I did it right that time. So I know I probably kind of explained it a little bit. It's probably easier if you guys actually see it. But again, I kind of just took my time when I was doing off camera and just didn't want to, just kind of made me nervous with the camera going on for some. Maybe next time, now I know exactly what to do, and I'll have to make a document on that for you all. So now that's the other thing. Even with the oil change and the oil filter change and all that, I like to use Pro Honda stuff. The GN4 or 1030. I know some people they say Rotella, castor oil, Pennzoil. Those are car stuff, and I just really feel more confident and better to use genuine Honda stuff for this power, 4-stroke motorcycle oil. That's just my, it is a little spendy, but heck, I want the stuff to last, made for it, and everything. And then you put everything back, get all that done. The air filter, I didn't use the stock one. I actually got a K&N from Rocky Mountain ATV. I did take a test run with it after I installed it. Voila, there it is, right down there. This was the boot where the the breather, the snorkel goes in. That's why I broke out of there. But I got all cleaned up. And I put some more sealant, sealant on there, and got it all nice and secured in there. It's where it's supposed to be. So yeah, I did take it out, rode around the property here after putting the K&N filter in there. I didn't really feel a whole difference in it, really. Mainly because I wasn't really riding. I couldn't really get it open out here. Because of the neighbors and stuff. I don't really want to be riding this too crazy out there because they'll complain, but nah, fuck them. That's what I say. But no, why is that not going in there? No. Okay, that's on the front. There you go. I think that's right here is a little stretched out a little bit because I took the air box out of here to fix that boot. I might have kind of bent it a little bit, but as long as it goes on, it's fine. Anyway, yeah, so definitely this weekend I will be going out riding. I want to test this out, see how it does with that K&N filter in there. I don't know if it's just me or not, but it does seem to give it more of a response on the throttle. I don't know if that's just, I don't know if that's really significant or not, but we'll see then. Now, for the recoil starter, as I pointed out, you have to remove this bolt here I showed you, the crank bolt from the stock one, because the recoil starter comes with another bolt that you used to use with a little basket like thing. It's the recoil. I don't know the technical term of that, but it's shaped like a basket that has little teeth on it like this. You stick it into the engine, the back of the engine, after you remove that panel like this with a bolt that sticks in there with an O-ring. There's a rubber seal you put in there first. You stick that in. Then you put it comes with 4 additional bolts that go on there because it's wider. I don't know if you can see that or not. It's kind of dark right here, so I'll get a flashlight here. My garage again is a fucking mess. Please excuse me for that. But yeah, this is where it goes. That's your pull starter there. This right here out of this project was the biggest pain in the fucking ass to get on, because you have to remove this mud guard right here, and you got to take off the top corner of this fender right here. You got to take this out too, because it's easier. It's just easier to get this out of there. But this comes on and off really easy. So did the fender. But once you got that on, I was like, yes, everything is freaking done finally. So go that on. Then the kit also came with a little capacitor resistor like thing, and I was trying to figure out where the hell that was supposed to go. And the instructions, I couldn't get the instructions downloaded. It did come with instructions, you have to download it, but I couldn't get it to download. I don't know if it was my phone, computer, or what, but I finally found a video on YouTube about it. Right here is where that resistor goes. There's a little slot. They already have a slot there for it with a little tab. It goes down into, and there's a dummy plug right here that doesn't go into anything. You remove that cap, shove this resistor down in that little hole, and then plug that in. Basically what that does is it tells it, I guess it sends a signal when you pull on it. It sends a signal through there to tell the computer to spark, so it'll start right up. So now I'll demonstrate it right now. Say you're out riding. Oh no, I got a dead battery. My starter won't start, blah, blah, blah. Turn the key on. Make sure everything's on. Grab this here. Now this is cold, so it probably won't start on the first 2 pulls, but with 2 hands. And it starts right up. You're not stranded. That is the coolest thing. And as you notice, there's no knocking noise or anything coming from it. And I just dropped my battery box. It fell down. But yeah, that's what that is. So that is the coolest thing. So now it'll start right up. You got to use both hands and do it firmly. It says it's a little stiff because that's how they start. So yeah. Anyway, now it's just a matter of just putting back the panels. All the plastics can go back on here, which I'll do that in a minute. I might put that on time lapse. So yeah, that's all that she wrote that I did. So I'll probably be out riding Saturday this weekend, because Sunday it's supposed to be raining on Sunday. Chance of rain on Sunday, so I'll probably get out Saturday. Will be the better day. Heck, I'll just do that later while I'm off camera, because I gotta have both hands. But so yeah, that's really all that's been going on. I hope to just get something on the channel so y'all can see. So there you have it. That's all. That's what I've been doing the last couple weeks now, off camera. More times I think maybe I should have gone ahead and recorded it for you just to have an installment video, but it's my first time doing it, and I just wanted to take my time. So anyway, yeah, Saturday, Chappie Shasta, I plan on going out there again after 3 months, do a Rubi ride, see how the can filter does in this, see how everything runs after I've taken it apart, put it back together again. So anyway, yeah, until then, rest of you have a good rest of your week. Be safe out there, see you on the trails, and we'll catch you all on the flip side. And there it is, all put back together. All the grommets went where they're supposed to be. And there she is, all back together again. Peace out.